Welcome to Future Consideration, SB Nation's NFL Draft Show. Over there is Ryan. He knows a lot about college football players.
I watch too much college football. That's Matt Ufford. Matt, you have watched more than one Tampa Bay Buccaneers game in the last 2 years.
I regret nothing.
You should.
We'll start things off, as we do every week, with a review of Mocking the Draft's mock draft. And once again, we see the same players in the top 5 positions or so. There's only so much we can say about Jameis Winston going #1 to the Buccaneers.
Who's that? I've never heard of him.
Yes. We never talk about the notice.
Yeah, not a bit.
So let's go jump outside the top 5
Okay.
and go straight to number 6, where Bud Dupree is projected to join the New York Jets.
Yes. Now, his measurables jump off the charts. He's fast, he's big, he's super agile. He had like a 42-inch vertical leap or something.
He's named Bud.
He's named Bud. His nickname is Bud because his real name is Alvin.
I go by Bud.
That's pretty good. I'd say it's maybe second-round nickname.
Yeah. And you can't pass up a player from a football powerhouse like Kentucky.
Like the Kentucky Wildcats. Yeah, I mean, the big question with him is, can you get him consistently doing all of the things that you think he can do? I don't know if the Jets are the team to necessarily milk all of the talent out of a player that they would like to, but you know, you could do worse than drafting somebody who's got that high of a ceiling, I think.
All right. Moving on to number 11, Tre Waynes, the cornerback out of Michigan State, projected to the Vikings. What are your thoughts on Mr. Tre Waynes?
So what I like about Tre Waynes is that he's great at bump and run coverage, and he is not afraid to be put out on an island by himself deep down the field. So when you can get somebody like that who has he's got decent size, he's got a ton of speed, he ran I think a 4.3 40 at his pro day. He is somebody who you say, okay, we can bring him in and he can learn the system, but he has all the physical tools. The one issue with him, he's a little handsy, and that might not go over well, you know, in this new NFL where handsiness from a defensive back is a quick way to get a lot of penalty flags.
Seems to work for Brandon Browner, though. At 18, Andrus Peat out of Stanford, offensive line U, going to Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a ton of experience as a starter at Stanford, 27 games under his belt there. About all of his last season, he was the starting left tackle for the Cardinal. He has a lot of strength, and he's a very smart player. Especially, I think one thing people like about offensive linemen who come out of Stanford is they play in this pro-style offense, and they learn a lot of the mental skills that you need from an offensive lineman at the next level. You know, it's interesting to see what they're going to do in Kansas City because
they did just spend a #1 pick on Eric Fisher recently, but Fisher has not played very well.
No, he hasn't. So I don't know if it's sort of a once burned kind of thing there, but we'll find out.
Yes, and 20, DJ Humphries from Florida to the Eagles. A tackle is not the biggest position of need for the Eagles.
No, I mean, so here's the logic I see for this pick if it happens. DJ Humphries is probably the player who has helped his stock the most from the end of the college football season until today. He's put on a lot of weight. He had a very nice combine. He's the kind of guy who, you know, not too long ago people were saying, why is DJ Humphries coming out at all? And now he's proven a lot of those people wrong. So it might be one of those where the Eagles say, this is a guy who maybe has the talent to be a really talented starting offensive lineman for 7-8 years. Should we just go and get that depth now that allows us to maybe make some moves that are more salary cap savvy down the line? Who knows?
Personally, with Jason Peters and Lane Johnson on the team already playing tackle, and you're in desperate need of a wide receiver in a wide receiver-rich draft, you might go with a wide receiver.
Chip Kelly can turn like an old bicycle.
Not to naysay, but that's where I'd be going. Okay. And let's wrap up the mock draft talk with the pick that I actually really like, even though he had the bad knee injury. Todd Gurley of Georgia going to the Dallas Cowboys.
Todd Gurley, fast, strong, and I like this pick because it suggests that the Cowboys aren't bold enough to sign Greg Hardy and then go get Adrian Peterson. I think they'll take that back.
You think Jerry Jones is gonna back down from that?
No.
You don't have the balls to do it, Jerry Jones.
That is a good way to get shot right in the foot.
That is all for our review of Mocking the Draft's mock draft this week. Be sure to check out the full mock draft at sbnation.com.